What up? This is Rama Screen, and in the anticipation of Dreamcatcher, which arrives in theaters and on demand and on digital March 5, I'm here talking with one of the stars of this new film, Travis Burns. How are you, Travis?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. Super excited.
Oh, that's a really awesome accent. I love Australians. Big fan of Australia.
Down under.
Congrats on the film, Travis. So let me start by asking you how you got on board this project and what was your reaction when you first read Jacob's script?
Well, I first got on board. We got sent the audition. I went through the audition process, and I remember doing it. It was quite unique. The audition process. I kind of went in for a different character, and then after reading for that, the producers came out and said, "Hey, we think you'll be better for this one." I'm like, "Okay." Dylan Dreamcatcher. I'm like, "Oh, must be good because the name of the movie is Dreamcatcher." So I ended up doing that, and fell in love with the character, and basically when they offered the role to me, I was super excited to go into, because we shot at the beginning of the year, so I was super excited to go into the new year, book the show, and I was really excited for it.
Prior to this, though, were you always a fan of slasher movies? What are your thoughts on slasher movies in general?
Of course, I think everyone's a fan of slasher movies. I was really into Scream, and it's probably a little weird, but I Know What You Did Last Summer. That was always a
Yes.
favorite of mine. So I don't know. It was just, I didn't find them really scary, but I don't find horrors scary. I kind of find them amusing somehow. I don't know why. I can't really explain it, but I try and look for how they were filming it and if they were actually scared, and then finally like moving over and actually shooting like a horror thriller slasher film. There were moments where I did actually get scared, so I learned something new, and it was seeing all the blood and the guts. I guess it was quite fun.
Yeah, and especially the thrill of the chase, or the hunt. That's one that's
I mean,
really
it's all about the
suspenseful.
chase, isn't
Exactly.
it?
So, talk to me about your character, Dylan, aka DJ Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher.
What's it like embodying this person?
It was very unique for me. So prior to doing this, I was on a soap opera, Neighbours. So we shoot a lot, 40 weeks of the year, and then moving into something like this. And I remember when I got offered the role, I accepted gladly and went straight to my coach, and we kind of created a bit of a backstory to figure out how
Hmm.
he got to where he is at the beginning of the film. And we made up this really long backstory of like trouble. Oh, sorry, before that, like very successful, all about his craft, all about his music, his spiritual. And then it came to a point at the start of the movie where it's not about that anymore. It's all about business. And it's funny, when we were doing all this, I watched a documentary on Netflix, and it was a very similar life to a very famous DJ that I watched. And his life was all about the craft, and then it turned into business. And unfortunately, he's not with us today. He ended up taking himself. You're probably familiar, Avicii. It was kind of, it blew my mind.
So, other than that Netflix source, prior to production started, did you have to spend time shadowing an actual DJ for your prep?
I didn't actually shadow. I remember being in Melbourne. I went to like music festivals, and I was kind of a big fan of this guy called Will Sparks.
Hmm.
He's doing very well, and I remember going up onto the stage with him and like having a party and everything, and like, wow, this is insane. But I did a lot of research on Avicii and Will Sparks, and kind of just embodied some of their characteristics and added that in a layer to Dylan. Um, and yeah, I didn't really shadow anyone per se.
Does that experience of research give you newfound appreciation for the profession of DJ? And are you able to spin? Are you able to spin the record now?
I can fake it any day. But yeah, no, of course it does. Like I remember getting it when I got it. I'm like, I'm going to create my own track. And then when we're up on stage, we can play it. And then I kind of bought a music software, and I tried to do it. I'm like, oh boy, I'm way out of my depth here. I can't just like, make up a track. So I had to scrub that idea. So yeah, I do. They are very, very talented.
Agreed, agreed. Man,
Yeah,
impressive indeed. So, Dylan's relationship with his manager, Josephine, I believe that's her name.
Josephine.
Yeah, their dynamic can be contentious at times. Talk to me about working with Adrian to create that dynamic on the screen.
So Adrian, she was amazing to work with. She got thrown into the deep end. I'm not sure if you've spoken to her yet or not, but she got hired the day before she turned up to set. And I remember she had this, I think it was like a 3-page monologue. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel sorry for you, but you're killing it. You're crushing it right now. And then to watch that to when we had scenes in the house, Dylan's house, it really like evolved. And I love Adrian. She's such a great actress, and it was so fun to work with her and seeing her character develop, mine develop, and then both of ours develop into a really good combination that just kind of explodes at the end.
Definitely one of my favorite highlights in the film. And I gotta say, confession time. I've never been to a music festival. Never been in my whole
No
life. No, never won once.
country festival, anything.
Not even Coachella. So I was wondering.
I've never been to Coachella either.
Yes, that's the dream, right? So,
Yeah.
how is Jacob's interpretation of music festival in this film authentically or accurately depicts what or portrays what you experience? Because you said that you've been to a music festival.
Yeah. Obviously, there's no music festivals now, but hopefully they'll open
Of
up very
course.
shortly. But we shot in downtown LA in a warehouse, and we had around 100 extras, which is a lot.
Wow.
And I remember I was kind of upstage. They were all down there, so I was looking down to them, and my DJ was just to hit play, so it was quite easy, and then pretend to do everything else. So that experience and the feeling of everyone jumping up and down when you're jumping up and down and trying, I set myself a little like goal to try and control the crowd, even though we're filming, it's whatever. But I'm like, I try to do things, and then they were copying me, so it was kind of like a very surreal moment. It's like maybe this is what DJs actually feel like. They do one thing, and then the crowd will copy them, and it's the sense of I guess realism. It's just like it's thrilling.
That's so cool.
But
So
you have to get out. You have to get out when everything opens up. It's good. Obviously, I was meant to say as well. Music festivals. There's like Coachella, and like there's tens of thousands of people, and
yeah,
to be on stage, doing your thing in front of 10,000+ people. I guess I'd feel nervous, anxious, but then once you get past the first track, you'd just be into it and really just be insane.
I promise you that's on the top of my bucket list, definitely.
Good man.
So, and finally, this movie, of course, has lots of twists and turns, and so there's only
hmm
so much we can talk about without spilling any spoilers.
I know,
Uh,
right? It's a bit disappointing.
Travis, make your final pitch to my fans. Tell them why they need to go watch Dreamcatcher.
It's you need to watch Dreamcatcher because it's it's a slasher film, and B, it keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire film, and it's not who you think it is.
Definitely, definitely full of surprises. Everybody, my fans, go check out Dreamcatcher, arriving in theaters and on demand and on digital March 5. Travis, thank you for talking to me and
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.